So Janie, I just want to tell everybody today what brought you in to see us and some of your experiences with this New Life laser.
The New Life laser to me was an answer to an injury, an old-time injury that I had in 1979. I was on Interstate 35 and an 18-wheeler ran into me, and so in those days we didn't have the shoulder harness or the airbags. So my face went into the steering wheel and I had massive face injuries in head and neck and back. And so I've been dealing with these injuries for all these years and have had a lot of surgery. At that particular time I had a massive hematoma on my left cheek, and it calcified, so they could only go through the mouth and try to remove that, but it left a lot of scar tissue in there, and it left me with trigeminal neuralgia, which was extremely painful, and some of the strongest medications didn't get rid of that pain. So through the years I have kind of called it my sleeping giant. I was able to keep it under control, and when the weather changes would happen and the barometric pressure changes would happen, that scar tissue that was in there, even though the outside of my face returned pretty much back to normal, and that was a miracle that it kind of equalized the other side of my face, so it wasn't really an obvious thing. Although when I would blink my eye, my face would twitch and I would have a lot of swelling in there. So when this laser, New Life laser, came along, and I realized that it reduced the inflammation, and I'm a therapist and I understood that language, I was willing to let you try this on me for the first time. No one has really been able to do anything other than medicate it and try to stop the swelling in that sense. So I just wanted to give this a try after all these years to see if it would help me. And so I began the treatment very reluctantly, but I just knew that it was my hope, because it was the first thing that ever came out that made sense to me. So I wanted to give it a try. And so I knew that it wasn't going to be painful to do this, and I asked enough questions and I was willing to do it. And so the first few sessions with my face kind of set it off a little bit, because it had been basically kind of sleeping for a long time, although I was increasing in my pain and I was upping my Aleve and different anti-inflammatories. So I knew it was time for me to do something, because I had dumped so much medicine in my system that I needed to stop going that direction. And so this was my hope. The first 2 or 3 sessions, I believe, were kind of tough on me. It started, the inflammation and the twitching came back again, and as I continued on with the sessions, it got better and better, and all of a sudden it was just like overnight. I could reach up there, and before I could feel that scar tissue that was in there, like any scar tissue, is very hard, and I could compare it to the other side. And at first it was kind of a little more swollen, and then it began to reduce, and all of a sudden it was like overnight I could start telling the difference. And it was very encouraging for me to know that that same feeling that I'd had in there for 30 years has started to reduce and get better. The twitching started reducing down and the pain started decreasing. So I guess it was probably about my 3rd or 4th treatment that I noticed a huge difference.
Wow. Okay. Well, congratulations.
Yes, and I'm going to keep going until it's just 100%, and I know we're heading in that direction.